Welcome to the English news program on Somaliland National Television with me, Isaac Ahmed. Let's take a look at the main stories making headlines. Ministry of Finance starts collecting annual taxations. Minister of Youth, Sports and Tourism announces date of upcoming soccer tournament. Leaders in Addis Ababa for AU Summit. Somaliland's Minister of Information, Culture and National Guidance, Abib Diria Noor, hosted an event on the importance of a free, just and transparent media sector. Several senior foreign journalists were in attendance.
Minister of Information, Culture and National Guidance, Abib Diria Noor, spoke on the significance of cooperation amongst journalists and the government of Somaliland on creating guidelines and regulations to avoid complaints from journalists countrywide. In an event hosting professional journalists representing public and private media outlets, they expressed admiration for organizing the event to improve the quality and awareness of the journalists operating at private and public media outlets. The meeting comes at a time while Ministry of Information, Culture and National Guidance heads a policy-level campaign to make regulations for the nation's media sector, which will be presented to the House of Representatives.
Somaliland's Minister of Youth, Sports and Tourism, Ali Saeed Regal, held a press conference on the date and location of upcoming national soccer tournaments.
The Minister of Youth, Sports and Tourism, speaking to the media at the press conference held, he stated that 8 regional teams are on the schedule of upcoming national soccer tournaments. Minister Ali Saeed Regal commended the efforts of ministry staff as well as regional officers involved in the overall collaboration of this highly anticipated national tournament. The games are expected to take place in the capital city, Hargeisa.
Deputy Minister of Mining, Mineral and Water Resources, Abdisalan Mohammed Hassan, informed the media about heavy rainfall in Hain Galol district of Sanaag region, which resulted in a number of casualties. The Deputy Minister also called upon the public to supply aid to those impacted by nature's will.
The Deputy Minister stated that at least 5 people have died from heavy rainfall. Severe flooding also destroyed the personal property of several families. He continued to add the urgency of more citizens residing within the nation and abroad, as well as local and international organizations working throughout the nation to offer immediate assistance and support. This is not the first time that heavy rainfall resulted in severe flooding, but other documented cases over the past few years have taken many lives and destroyed property in different regions of Somaliland.
The Director General of Finance announced the commencement of a nationwide campaign focusing on collecting taxes from the people for the advancement of Somaliland.
The Director General informed the media that the nationwide tax collection campaign aims to acquire the taxes of homes, roads and commercial institutions. The staff of Somaliland's Ministry of Finance is embarking on this campaign under the leadership of key ministerial employees. The collection of taxes has been a primary concern for Somaliland's Ministry of Finance, as it remains to be the primary method of filling sector voids and further fueling emerging markets. The Director General of Finance elaborated on numerous public awareness campaigns implemented since the administration took office, focusing on the need for more individuals paying their taxes on time and efficiently.
You're still tuned into the English news program on Somaliland National Television, and now for our international headlines in detail. African leaders have gathered to witness celebrations in Addis Ababa for the 50th Jubilee of the Continental Bloc, with its many problems set aside for a day to mark the progress that has been made.
Mass dances and dramas on Friday to about 10,000 guests in a giant hall in the Ethiopian capital home to the African Union. Today's 54-member AU is the successor of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, established amid the heady days as independence from colonial rule swept the continent in 1963. African leaders were expected to be joined by Francois Hollande, the French president, Wang Yang, China's vice premier, and John Kerry, U.S. Secretary of State. Mali is expected to be discussed. It is preparing to receive a UN peacekeeping force to support French soldiers fighting formerly Al-Qaeda-linked rebels in the desert north since January.
French magistrates decided on Friday not to place IMF chief Christine Lagarde under formal investigation over her role in a €285 million arbitration payment made to a supporter of former President Nicolas Sarkozy.
Lagarde was instead given the status of a supervised witness after she was questioned on her 2008 decision as Sarkozy's finance minister to use arbitration to settle a court battle between the state and businessman Bernard Tapie. My explanations answered questions raised about the decisions that I had made at the time. Lagarde told reporters outside the Paris court. My status as a supervised witness is not a surprise for me because I always acted in the interest of the state and according to the law.
The U.S. has appealed to armed groups in Libya for help in capturing 5 people suspected of taking part in last year's deadly attack on the consulate in Benghazi.
The men were identified by the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation this week, 8 months after the incident that killed 4 Americans in the eastern Libyan city. The FBI earlier this month released photos of the suspects captured by security cameras during the September 11, 2012 attack. Among the victims was Christopher Stevens, the U.S. ambassador who died from smoke inhalation. The FBI is now trying to locate the men. The U.S. has not officially asked the Libyan government to apprehend the men. The U.S. knows the Libya government is weak and that the country's official security structures rely on the private brigades for the security.
And now for a sports segment with Mohammed Jibril.
Thanks, Ishaq. Let us start with some of international soccer. London's calling for Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund and their travelling fans as the two Bundesliga club arrive in the English capital for the Champions League final at Wembley. Both sides have taken this season's edition by storm, leaving the champions in traditional heavyweight in their wake. The stage is now set for the first ever All-German Champions League final. Bayern are hunting their 5th Champions League title. They won the European Cup 3 years on the trot from 1974 and once more in 2001. Frustratingly for Bavarians though, they have lost 2 of the last 3 finals, in 2010 against Inter and last season's final against Chelsea and their home Allianz Arena. An outgoing coach, Jupp Heynckes, believes going one step further to lift their trophy this time will be a career highlight for his players, especially the veterans in his squad. Borussia Dortmund are playing their showpiece match for the first time since 1997, which was their only one appearance in European Cup final. In a major blow to their title hopes, Dortmund's star playmaker Mario Götze will join Bayern in the summer, has been ruled out with a hamstring injury. Nonetheless, coach Jurgen Klopp believes it's all about the tactical decision made on the night that will make the difference. Fears continue to grow over the safety of a former Dutch international volleyball player Ingrid Visser and her partner who have been missing in Spain for 2 weeks. Visser is well known in Murcia, having played for the city's volleyball team toward the end of her career. Police have found no trace of them since they checked into their hotel 2 weeks ago, and while their rental car has also vanished, their luggage remains at the hotel. Visser's family has encouraged the Spanish people to join the search for the couple who were last seen on May 13 and have also set up a Facebook page to help spread the word. Defending champions Maria Sharapova and Rafael Nadal were joined by Serena Williams and Roger Federer for a promotion event in Paris on Friday. Nadal, who is hunting an 8th Roland Garros crown, has been seeded 3rd, meaning he could meet world number 1 Novak Djokovic in the semi-finals. The Spaniard told reporters he feels on form at the moment and jokingly allowed himself the privileged dream of another final appearance. Defending champion Sharapova being her title defense against Anfisir Su Wei-hin of Chinese Taipei, while the Russian world number 2 is not taking anything or anyone for granted. That was an update from our sports segment. You can catch a complete update of international sport with me, Mohammed Jibril, on Wednesdays, Saturdays and Sundays. Back to you, Ishaq.
Thanks, Mohammed. Let's take a quick recap of the main stories making headlines. Ministry of Finance starts collecting annual taxations. Minister of Youth, Sports and Tourism announces date of upcoming soccer tournament. Leaders in Addis Ababa for AU Summit. That's the end of our news program. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.